long story short, and even at the suite that they put me up at because I was doing a show at the casino.
Yeah.
Fancy suite with big windows and big blinds.
Sure.
And you close the blinds. But guess what? There's one little part of the blind
Always.
that was open. And guess where that's shown? The top third of the bed. It was unbelievable. I go home and I hit up my IV nurse lady friend that pumps me filled with vitamins and hydration.
This is very relatable, guys. I know you all have probably experienced being put up in a nice suite at a casino and then your IV girl.
Right. And I'm not bragging. It's just,
No, it's awesome.
There's levels to it.
It's awesome.
William alone has put out more comedy than in the last 5 years plus than Chappelle, Louis, Bill Burr, Segura, Bert Kreischer combined. Luckily, I have a show that's mine, and I evolved it to what I love. And I kept it I keep it exciting for me. It's all me making the decisions of who you see, when you see them, other than the bucket, the regulars, the this, the that. This golden ticket winner wants to go up this week, maybe take another week or two off. We're going to let this golden ticket winner go. I think it's time for them. I want to see growth in them or a thing with this or that. I keep it interesting for me. I've just finished this Vince McMahon documentary. Did you watch it?
Now, let me cut to this. Can you pull this up? Kill Tony. 2 weeks ago, your podcast has been up for 2 weeks and has 3.1 million views.
Yeah.
Dude, so think about that. That is almost double the viewership of Jimmy Kimmel. And I don't know how much it costs to produce your show, but I'm guessing it isn't that much.
It isn't that much. It's an unbelievable threat. Let me one-up you here, which is my show's 2.5 hours. His show's 60 minutes.
Yeah.
After commercial, his show's probably 42 minutes. My show's 2.5 hours.
Right.
So 3.1 times 2.5 hours versus 1 point whatever times 42 minutes or whatever we said.
Right.
Another interesting thing, since you brought it up, a real fun fact, is the roast of Tom Brady was the most watched program in Netflix's entire history.
Holy shit.
Ever. Watched over 1.5 billion minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Which takes like 13 years to watch 1.5 billion minutes.
Wow.
The episode of Kill Tony with Shane Gillis as Donald Trump and Adam Ray as Joe Biden.
Hilarious.
Beat that. 1.5 billion minutes watched to 2.5 billion minutes watched.
Wow.
It holds a YouTube record, according to the people from YouTube, for retention rate. Wow. Anybody that watched it went back and started it where they stopped it the day before or watched it the whole way through. People watched it twice. People watched it 3 times. YouTube only gives you so many views allowed on each video, or else people would abuse the system.
Okay.
But what they do count is minutes watched.
Right.
And that's a really big deal. 2.5 billion. I see the money that Rogan's making because the Spotify deal went public. All these people playing catch up are still going off of a television model. They're so deathly afraid to evolve or to have a conversation and be themselves because a lot of them don't even know who themselves are. Whether it's a politician who's been politicianing, whether it's an actor that's been acting. These people have no idea who they are, and they're often not healthy.
Right.
They're not pure, it's like they don't work out. They're medicated up because they're listening to their doctors, and they're barely holding on for dear life.
Right.
A little bit more Adderall for energy, a little bit more of this to mellow it out, a little bit of this to do that, a little bit of this to do that. They have, they're.
You just described my morning of.
And it's so interesting because it continues to grow, and to think that, that I have this comedy thing, right? Like kind of like, let's just make believe here and say that the Kill Tony universe is the new Comedy Central. I go home and I hit up my IV nurse lady friend that pumps me filled with vitamins and hydration.
This is very relatable, guys. I know you all have probably experienced being put up in a nice suite at a casino and then your IV girl.
Right. And I'm not bragging. It's just,
No, it's awesome.
There's levels to it.
It's awesome. That's crazy.
I don't really find any joy in staying at home and watching shows. And I've just finished this Vince McMahon documentary. Did you watch it? Then I was right.
It's not about bothering him.
Right.
It's I don't know if you're either backtracking or you're what you communicated to me was not the true intention, but you were doing hyperbole for the comedy. But even saying what he does was to the lowest common shit. Nobody.
That's what it is.
No art.
That's what I mean. The only thing I know that he's worked on is a network sitcom, right?
Three of them,
right?
yes.
And then he's stuck with those, right? Exactly.
And sold a couple of movie scripts and is out pitching network shows.
Sure.
Making a living.
Sure. Pitching network shows, network.
Yeah. A lot of money.
And who's watching networks right now, Rick? Or let's see how honest you'll be about your friend.
So now, numbers wise,
is there
a few million a week?
Okay. All right.
A few million a week. Now, if we're going to
we're talking out of touch craziness. Those are like TVs that are left on nursing homes and stuff.
I mean, if you want to take it to a court of law, these are the statistics and these are what advertisers are paying for.
That's what advertisers are paying.
What advertisers are paying
You're right
for.
about that.
So, this is not a perspective I have, but I'm going to play devil's advocate to the point that you're making for context. How many people are watching the roasts versus a network show?
Well, the roast is the most watched annual comedy program on television.
So what are the numbers? Would you say a few million?
More than that. On the first go around, it's usually about somewhere between 6 and 9 million.
All right. So if I'm not editing this, whoever this is, I would like you to check these numbers and put them up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The roast of Charlie Sheen was the
what was the most recent one? The Alec Baldwin one.
Yeah.
The one that just came out.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that one did.
Okay. Now I have fun watching those things.
But I mean, clearly, again, this is another interesting, because if we're going by the court of laws, you would say cable numbers are obviously extremely down compared to ever before.
What is your philosophy when it comes to showmanship, when it comes to putting on a show? Because you do have what appears to me to be a very crystallized, very strategic, very smart methodology when it comes to putting on a show. And I'm just curious if you could articulate what that is.
Well, the machine runs, right? Over the years, the format, I've evolved it to so that I don't have to prep anything, right? I don't have a monologue. I don't do my material. The stand-up Tony and the host Tony are two different guys. So I built the format so strong that I can just plug and play, right?
Right.
I kind of feel like it's my Millennium Falcon, right?
Cool.
And I'm Han Solo, and I know how to fix things if it goes wrong, but I can just jump in and lower the ramp and jump in and escape any second. And my thing is, and I think this is the sign of any good host, is you make it about who's on.
Right.
I try my hardest, even though during their 60 seconds, sometimes I have to fix something, or I notice something's off, or something I have to whisper to Red Band or a producer or whatever, to do something or to keep an eye on something, or what's this, or where are we at, or what's going on, what time is that recording, is that going, is this, there's so many different variables that, like a pilot, you have to pay attention to.
And then it all clicked. It's like, oh my God, I'm taking someone on the road who's been on the Tonight Show countless times.
Every week. He's put out, William alone has put out more comedy than in the last 5 years plus than Chappelle, Louis, Bill Burr, Segura, Bert Kreischer combined.
Yeah, man.
There's no question about it.
He's so funny.
At about 7 or 8 minutes, and he's being funny the whole interview. We know how to do the dance.
So this is this territory that we're in here, and this is Mitzi territory.
And the fun fact is that the fans, you're exactly right, and the fans never knew that other person. We saw that other, or you saw that other person that never, they only saw the star.
Right.
And that's what people are seeing with really everybody. I mean, everyone other than Cam. Cam came on. He's just a natural. It's what you hear about when you hear about 15-year-old Eddie Murphy or 15-year-old Dave Chappelle, right? We're seeing him 2 years in, which is crazy. So that's the part that I can control, is the bookings. And with that part, a lot of people talk about the growth and the and the evolution of the bucket pools. But one thing that I take great pride in is the growth and evolution of who I have at the table with me. Maybe I'm introducing them to someone or something that they've never heard of that's folklore in a comedy world, or a fast-growing freak. You know, I exposed the hell out of Shane so early on, every chance I got, because I'm like, holy shit, this guy is Frankenstein. This is this guy just stomps when it comes to comedy. He's so funny all the time.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of those guys to where he's literally not on, just funny.
Yep.
All the time.
Yeah.
So if he's having fun, let's get his ass out. You know, these guys, there's so many of them.